Chris Brown is in the spotlight once again, and it's not for a good reason. He's being sued by his housekeeper, out of all people, and he's not going easy on him. The singer's former employer has apparently put a demand for $71 million. Shocking, right? Well, you can find out more by watching today's video. Chris Brown has been trying very hard to rebuild his image after his very confrontational past, but that all seems very in vain now, given the new situation he landed himself in. The hip-hop singer is being sued by his former housekeeper for millions of dollars. What prompted her to do so? Well, it's the fact that Chris left her injured in a pool of blood while trying to cover a dog attack. Celebrity gossip magazine Radar Online has obtained the shocking photos of the housekeeper, who brought her lawsuit using the pseudonym Jane Doe, submitted into evidence. As previously reported, Doe brought her complaint in July 2021. She claimed to have been working at Brown's house on December 12, 2020, when the incident went down, when the housekeeper was attacked by the singer's dog while working at Tarzana, California property. Apparently, the singer had never told her that she'd be working around enormous, vicious, fighting killer attack dogs. Chris, Caucasian Shepherd's dog named Hades, was running around the house without a leash, which honestly sounds like a total nightmare. Chris has previously posted the pictures of the dog on his Instagram, so there's no lie there. According to the American Kennel Club, this Pacific dog breed weighs as much as 200 pounds. So yes, it is really a nightmare. Some of you might be under the illusion that maybe Chris was trying to remove the danger and then get her medical attention, but that is not the case. He asked for his security to destroy all evidence and escape the area. That clears up any doubt about his intentions. In the midst of all this, the woman laid there bleeding with massive portions of her skin missing from her body and face. Doe also told the court how she wasn't able to see due to the blood covering her face, body, and eyes. Of course, she was screaming in terror the entire time, but no one came to her aid, even though the singer's team was at home when the event happened. The security followed Chris's instructions. The dog was taken to a site where Hayes was euthanized in Hamburg County in Northern California on December 24th. The country's records show that they received a call about a stray dog on December 18th, about 600 miles away from Brown's home. Of course, the case didn't stay buried for too long. Soon, authorities contacted Chris and asked him whether he owned Hades or not. According to Jane, Chris owned up to the fact that he did, but Chris didn't reveal the entire truth. He played the innocent card and said that his dog was removed from his property without his knowledge. Even when first responders arrived on the scene, Chris feigned knowledge about the attack. He said that he didn't know the incident had taken place despite seeing the injured woman himself and asking the dogs to be removed from the premises. And just when you think it couldn't get worse, it does. From what Doe told the court, Chris had no idea about the dog's vaccination history, including rabies shots. He tried to get some paperwork in order but never provided it after the incident. Jaden Doe filed an official lawsuit in July 2021. She is seeking millions of dollars for medical expenses, along with mental and emotional distress. The poor woman spent thousands of dollars on medical expenses. She is apparently having to get stitches, and from the looks of things, she'll be spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in the future as well. What's more, she exclaimed that she will lose $550,000 once the dust from the lawsuit settles. In the lawsuit, Jane revealed that she was out to empty the garbage when the dog appeared out of nowhere and proceeded to attack her viciously and brutally. Hades bit her in the face, her arms, and other body parts. He ripped out large chunks of her skin from her arms and face. She laid there thinking that she was going to die. You would think Chris would take the injured woman to the hospital, but that is not what he did. He approached the scene rather too casually and was talking on the phone at the time. In the scene where the woman was lying in the pool of her own blood, his first concern was to call security and round up all the dogs to remove them from the premises. That group took the dog and dumped him in a pound in Humboldt County, where he was euthanized a few days later. The dog's chip connected the dog's ownership to the defendant, Chris Brown, Doe's lawyer wrote in court documents. Doe said she feared for her life and has had to deal with the physical injuries and emotional distress ever since. The entertainer demanded the lawsuit be thrown out. He denied all allegations of wrongdoing. Brown accused Doe of having caused her injuries by allegedly mistreating the dog. Brown said Doe voluntarily teased, abused, and mistreated the dog and thereby provoked the attack. His lawyer wrote, Doe invited the injuries now complained of and assumed the risk of them with full knowledge of the magnitude of that risk, in that she knew her foregoing conduct might cause the dog to attack her and seriously injure her, both of which events are alleged to have occurred. Recently, Brown refused to sit for a deposition in Doe's lawsuit. He claimed a default had been improperly entered against him in the case, and Doe had refused to agree to vacate it. Brown said he would sit for a deposition once the default was vacated. In her new motion, Doe said she would not agree to Brown's request. She said he had been properly served with the lawsuit, but failed to file his response by the deadline. As part of her motion, Doe submitted photos showing the devastating injuries she suffered as a result of the defendant's negligent care and control of the vicious dog on his property that he let roam free, and this was the consequence. Several of the images submitted are too graphic to post. The drama doesn't end here. On top of Doe's lawsuit, Brown was sued by Doe's sister Patricia, who wants damages for the emotional distress she suffered from watching her sister being attacked. Chris Brown's ex-housekeeper demanded the singer sit for a videotaped deposition as part of their court battle over a vicious dog attack, but the singer said he won't appear until certain requests are met. According to court documents, the housekeeper, who used the pseudonym Jane Doe to bring the lawsuit, said she served Brown's company, Black Pyramid, with a notice for Brown's deposition. Doe is scheduled the deposition for November 9, 2023. However, she said days before it was set to go down, Brown's lawyers objected to the notice and claimed that it was untimely served. Further, Brown's team said there was a default entered against Brown in the case in 2022. The lawyer said Brown filed his official answer to the case after the default was entered by the court. Despite him appearing and filing his response, the initial default entered has yet to be vacated. Brown has been attempting to have the default vacated for months, but the housekeeper has refused to work with him on the matter. Brown said he could not appear for a deposition until Doe agreed to set aside the default. What does Chris have to say about all this? Well, apparently nothing. He has not addressed the issue so far. Even the representatives of the R&B singer failed to provide a comment. Hopefully, he'll do the right thing. What are your thoughts on Chris Brown's situation? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. That's all for this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification for more amazing content. Thanks for watching.